What's up guys, TechFlash here, and today we are going to unbox Samsung Galaxy A70. Now Galaxy A70 was launched along with the Galaxy A80 with the rotating camera, and this one is not that interesting of a device, but the interesting part about this device is the fact that this is a budget device and has great specifications. Now Samsung has recently been quite competitive when it comes to their mid-range, and their A series recently combined with their J series has formed up this a cool alliance where you are getting devices with much better specifications and much better internals. Also, Samsung is now experimenting in their mid-range segment, which is quite unique for Samsung because most of the time all the experimentation was done when their flagships came around. But this time around, you get a warranty card, you get a gold membership card, and on the back of the device, the box, there are some details written which I'm going to show you, and these are quite interesting. You got the Infinity U display, which is an AMOLED display, an in-display fingerprint scanner, which is an optical one, so different from what you get in Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and super fast charging. Now super fast charging is very important, as this charging technology is not even available with Galaxy S10 Plus, which is the flagship device from Samsung. Now, there are rumors that Galaxy S10 Plus might get this technology via an OTA update, but you still have to buy a separate charger. The internals on this phone are quite interesting, as I told you earlier. It comes with 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, and a Snapdragon chipset for some reason, a Snapdragon 675 chipset, which is fairly new and a quite good performer. Opening up the box, you will see the device resting there, but we are going to look at this booklet, which I actually missed when I was unboxing Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. In this box, you get a silicon case, and this case is looking quite good, and some paperwork to go along with it. I don't know who reads these quick start guides anymore. However, let's just put that to a side. Now let's go to the main menu, which is Samsung Galaxy A70. All the other details you saw on the back of the device box are written on this paper. I'm going to peel it, and oh my god, look at this color. It comes in this peach color, which Samsung calls coral for some reason. I don't remember exactly, but I think iPhone were the first one to call this color coral. The charger with this device is actually a 25-watt brick with a Type C output, which is unique for Samsung because before this, the cables which were coming from Samsung devices were Type A to Type C, but now you get a Type C to Type C cable. So Samsung is looking towards the future, and that's a very good sign. Also in the box, you get a hands-free, but it's a very cheap looking hand-free, and I don't recommend this to anyone, not even my enemies. Okay, also in the box there is a SIM ejector tool, and I'm going to remove it because I want to see how many SIM cards and how many other expandable options you get with this device. I'm hoping that you can insert 2 SIM cards and a memory card all at once, so there is no hybrid SIM slot, which usually annoys me quite a lot. Now the button layout on this device is quite interesting. You get all the keys on one side, and there's a triple camera setup on the back. There's a USB Type-C charging port with a headphone jack, and the build quality on this device is mostly plastic, so Samsung has cheaped out when it comes to build quality because Samsung is now going to compete with other Chinese manufacturers, and in doing so they are going to lose some qualities which you usually find in Samsung devices. Now I want to set up this device as quickly as possible so I can show it to you, and the basic things that I want to set up is the in-display fingerprint scanner, so you can see how fast it is. There is also a Face ID support present with the front camera because the front camera is whopping 32 megapixel sensor. The back cameras on this device are also quite interesting. There is a 32 megapixel back camera main sensor, 8 megapixel wide angle lens, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Now I'm going to set up the in-display fingerprint scanner because I know that the Face ID on Samsung devices was quite slow when they started giving out this technology, but it has now since been improved, and there are no issues whatsoever with the Face ID tech. So I'm going to use the in-display fingerprint scanner. Now you can see that this in-display fingerprint scanner is an optical one, while on the Galaxy S10 Plus you get an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. And the biggest difference between these two scanners is the fact that this scanner uses light. So you can see whenever I place my finger on the scanner, there's quite some light coming out of the screen to actually make the scanner work. And these scanners are conventionally less secure than ultrasonic ones, but we have seen that ultrasonic fingerprint scanners can also be fooled. Now I have set up all these things, so I'm just going to skip everything so that we can get into the device. And I also want to tell you that the software experience on this phone is One UI, which is the latest and the greatest from Samsung. Samsung Galaxy A50 also came with an in-display fingerprint scanner, but it was quite slow, so we are going to try out on this new device to see if Samsung has actually improved anything. And here we go. Let me just place my finger on the scanner, and you have to press it a little harder than an ultrasonic one because this scanner actually needs an imprint of your finger to actually perform. And yeah, it has improved quite a lot. With Galaxy A50 it was not able to unlock my device most of the time, but this time around it's quite slow when compared to other mid-range devices with in-display fingerprint scanners from different Chinese brands like Vivo. But I can safely say that this in-display fingerprint scanner is much better than what we get on Samsung Galaxy A50. Now the front camera on this device is a 32 megapixel sensor, so we can expect some crispy shots from this camera. Also on the back you get a 32 megapixel main lens, but there is also a secondary lens with wide angle support, so you can get those ultra wide images. Now the third lens on this camera is actually only a depth sensor, which frankly for me is waste of space and money, but it looks cool to have triple camera setup on the back because it's a very ongoing trend in mid-range segments to include an extra camera just for the depth information. Now my final verdict about Samsung Galaxy A70 is simple. This device is a great device for the price, and you also get the name of Samsung, which is important because you get all the reliability and the software updates you expect from Samsung. If you like the One UI experience, you are going to love this device because it is fluid than ever. It has a Snapdragon chipset, a triple camera setup, an in-display fingerprint scanner, a great looking display. What more do you want in a mid-range device? And this device is a perfect example that you can get pretty much every single feature in the mid-range segment if you just know where to look. And I hope you like this video, and if you end up liking this video, just do subscribe so that you can get all my latest content before anyone else.